Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 14 of Paranormal Road Trip with Jen. Tonight, our guests are Maria Pons-Schmidt. She is the founder and president of Haunted Journeys, and she is also the founder of National Ghost Hunting Day, which will be this Saturday, September 29th. I, along with my other guests, Mike Flickner from Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters, will be at Thornhaven Manor this Saturday, and we will be going live with Maria on National Ghost Hunting Day. We're hoping that one of Mike's other members, Barb Wyatt, can join us. She's had a lot of experiences at Thornhaven. So let's go ahead and welcome Maria and Mike to the show. Good evening, guys. How you doing?
Good evening, Maria. How are you?
Maria, are you with me? I see you. Unmute.
I can hear her.
I can't
Can you hear me?
Maria? I think she forgot to unmute.
Jen, can you hear me?
I can hear you, Mike.
Okay.
I just sent her a message. I'll let her know we can't hear her.
When we start, I don't want to bring
Oh, there she is.
Scotty up immediately on the stage. I think I want to go up there and welcome everybody and then introduce Scotty.
Yeah. But Scotty needs,
Maria?
Yeah,
exactly. We're here. Scotty is
a guest,
an invited guest to help fill that role.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's going on. So, Mike.
Yes.
How many trips will this be to Thornhaven for you?
Excuse me. Say it one more time.
How many trips to Thornhaven will this be for you?
This will probably be about my 6th trip.
Oh, I didn't know you'd been there that many times.
Well, Barb's been there many more times than I have. She's probably going up on 10 trips.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
She loves the place, and she is pretty much on the place. So she knows what's going on there as far as the history and stuff. I know a little bit about the history, but my part of doing Thornhaven is to do the ghost hunting. And I can tell you about some of the spirits up here at Thornhaven, too.
I think, are you with us now?
I am. Instead of muting me, I muted you.
Oh. That's okay. This is the first time you've done this, so we'll let it slide this time.
No, you're kind. It's just my mind is a little burned out. So thank you for pinging me and letting me know.
Well, Mike, we can talk, when we get into Thornhaven, you can tell us all your stories. You told me earlier that I have to worry about a guy that likes to grab the ladies, so you can get into that later.
Right.
Oh, like, great. I'd rather deal with those than snakes. So, yeah, no snakes for me.
Well, you don't have to worry so much about snakes up there. And all the times I've been there, I've never encountered one.
Now you'll get like 15 because we've said this.
Well, it's a pretty tight building. It's a pretty tight building, and no, we really hadn't encountered anything like that up there. As far as wildlife, we did encounter a few raccoons, and they come in from the top, but I think it's been sealed.
I'm fine with raccoons, just not with snakes. Nope.
Well, they tend to interfere with your investigations. Because you're sitting there and quiet. You're sitting there and quiet, and then all of a sudden you hear something go thump. And then where they fell through the roof on the upper floor, and they'll start screaming. And of course everybody jumps because nobody knows what it is. And it's a raccoon. And I can recall a time, one of the first time we were there that we spent the night, and Barb was asleep, and she thought that she heard somebody coming down the steps. It was a raccoon. So,
are you sure it wasn't the ghost of a raccoon?
No, it wasn't a ghost of a raccoon. It was a real raccoon. But the place in itself, it's a super place. Every time we've ever been there, we've never been disappointed. And a lot of people that have came in with us in the past, just walking through the place, you'll hear footsteps all over the place, and you'll hear talking in other rooms. And so much that, I mean, we weren't even doing an investigation. We were just going through the rooms with the owner, talking to people visiting, that I had to step out of the room and go see who this is. And there's nobody in the building at all.
Sorry, my YouTube's acting weird. So Maria, tell us a little bit about yourself. You're the founder of and president of Haunted Journeys, and then you also founded National Ghost Hunting Day.
Right. So it all started a few years back that my husband was the operator of probably one of the most haunted inns in Florida. It was called the Seven Sisters Inn.
Maria, I cannot hear you again.
I didn't do that one. Now that one I did not do.
It's your
So yeah, I was just saying, where did I leave off? Was it talking about Seven Sisters Inn?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Bob says yes. So so I never saw an apparition, but I heard voices. Some of the voices will call my name. They were I was very engaged with them, and they were engaged with us. And I knew them by name. I knew them by, exactly who they were and what role they had. We were very intimate with these spirits. Once in a while, we used to get, hijackers that come in, with other people, and but my spirits didn't want that, so they sort of helped us get them out of there. So it was very intriguing. But we found out we were a struggling historical property with lots of repairs and updates, and we didn't have the mechanisms to draw people in. We couldn't go out publicly saying that it was a very haunted end. We couldn't publicly say that because another half would not come in because it was haunted. So we felt like it was needed. We needed to have a discreet way to tell folks that we're looking for haunted that they can come to our place, and it was legit. Well, that's where Haunted Journeys was born. And basically, it was originally a catalog, a database of everything haunted, anywhere from hotels to theaters, to historic sites, to parks, ghost tours, and anything that has to do with the haunted was there, events, etc. So we left the Seven Sisters in order to come up to Ohio. But the passion of historic preservation never left. In fact, I'm sitting in a over 150-year-old house. And these properties are struggling. I know how expensive they are to maintain. And it's a lot easier, a lot less expensive to bulldozer them than it is to keep them. So Haunted Journeys started a new twist. And the twist was historic preservation. From there, we thought that we were going to escalate this message with a very important thing, and it would be National Ghost Hunting Day, so we can celebrate historic preservation. But when we researched it, there wasn't such. So there wasn't such a date. So we went to the National Registry, which is a public company. It's not the government, it's not like Mother's Day, but they commission out national days. And apparently they get tons and tons of requests a day. So we weren't even sure they were going to laugh at us or whatever. They loved the idea. And so the first day was commissioned in 2016, and we launched it off in Scarefest, interesting day, with the help of a good friend of Brian Cano. And we felt like the world's largest ghost hunt was the best way to really put attention to this day. At first, I wanted just a national largest ghost hunt. But Brian Cano said, you really need to do this worldwide, and I'll help you. And he did. So 70 teams the first year. The second year, we had 92 teams. And this year, we're over 154 because there's properties in there that didn't fully register but are celebrating with us. And that's fine. That's fine with me, as long as they keep the mission that we want. And that's it. That's what happened. Long story short. But Bob and I are not ghost hunters. We like to call ourselves ghost hunter collectors. We like to, surround ourselves with your skills and all that. We will never pretend to be ghost hunters. Yeah, we've gone on ghost hunts, but that's not what we dedicate our purpose for. So, yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
I hope so. Otherwise, I bored you for the last 10 minutes of your life.
No,
I'm just kidding with you. I'm just kidding.
We don't consider ourselves ghost hunters either.
Really?
Yeah. Even though we have the title as ghost hunters, we tend to go toward things in a scientific way. And the reason that we do that is because we like to help people. Mm-hmm. And and I'm sure you do too.
Mm-hmm. That's why we're like-minded, right?
Right, exactly.
And we're doing this together on Saturday.
Exactly. Yeah. And what we do is we use equipment and stuff. And there's a lot of groups out there that disagree with equipment. But the reason we use it is because I can tell you, honestly, Maria, I'm not psychic by any means. Mm-hmm. You know, I can't hear them unless I use equipment. But I could tell you some stories in the past, places that I've been where I actually did hear them, and they talked to me, and they were very, very vocal and stuff. And that was in a place I was chained to for about 10 years, and that was Waverly Hills Sanatorium.
Oh.
And I was the head of their paranormal department up there for many, many years. And I became so engrossed with that building and so in touch with that building. And I still feel it today. But in that main time, the spirits did come to me. You know, see, I guess what I'm saying is I hate the name ghost. I really do, because I don't believe in them as ghosts. I believe in them as spirits.
Spirits. Mm-hmm.
And they are spirits. And I guess if anybody else is watching this out there, I would like to tell everybody there is a difference between a ghost and a spirit. You know, a ghost is something in the past.
Let me ask you, let me share with you what I was once told by a very, very famous medium. She was on television and all that. She wrote several books. And I like what she said. She said, a ghost is a, you know, an entity that departed from a body that never crossed. They never went to the other side. And they're haunted. And they're haunting. A spirit is one that went to the other side and they're coming back to visit. And that's how she declared it. And she says that's why the spirits tend to be more docile, more fulfilled, more happier. And the ghosts tend to have a little bit more, sometimes malevolent attitude, or a little bit more spicy. Is that an accurate way, Mike, of how she described it?
Well, pretty much a ghost is something that replays itself over and over again. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't even know you're there. It's an event. Mm-hmm. Basically, because everything involves energy. As you know, mm-hmm. everything involves energy. And sometimes environments can be charged with this energy, mm-hmm. just like a cassette recorder or so. Mm-hmm. And it can do the same with EVPs too. You know, mm-hmm. that things can replay themselves over and over again. And that would be a ghost. A spirit would be one that is intelligent, that can actually interact with you and know what's going on. And there's many, many spirits in the world, mm-hmm. as you know. And not just human spirits, other spirits too. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's many, many spirits. There's some spirits that never even walked the earth before. Mm. And what we look for is we try to look for the intelligent spirits. Don't let the name throw you off about ghost hunters, because we're not really looking for ghosts. Yeah. We're looking for spirits. Yeah. But it's just a cool name.
You know, I had a problem with the name too, because I don't like it. Looks so, you know, you're bear hunting and you're ghost hunting. You know, it looks so traumatic. And but the only reason we chose that name, because in the general, which is what we're trying to teach, we're trying to do public awareness. People don't know any other terminology than ghost hunters. And that's because TV did that to us, right?
Exactly. You are absolutely
And that's a
correct.
shame, isn't it? Because they kind of tainted everything in the wrong direction.
And they did. And I've been a part of almost every TV show that's been out there. In my years of Waverly, I was in the background of every TV show that ever came up there, and I've even actually been on the TV shows that was up there. And it's like, come on, man, this is TV.
Mm-hmm.
And it only took one show to tell me that this is entertainment. This is not real. It's not real. And being under contract, I can't go into further detail about what happened behind the scenes.
We can read between the lines.
Yeah, but I can tell you, it's really not real. It's not what true paranormal investigators do.
Mm-hmm.
And they're Hollywood stars.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically it. But yes, there is a big difference between a ghost and a spirit. And what Side tries to do is we try to go out and help people, especially people that's got children that are scared and being in a residence. And it could be something simple too. I mean, we can go in there and we can find out that there's high amounts of EMF in the house that makes people hallucinate.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could have cracks in the floor, people walking across the floor, or the house could be settling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's a paranoia because of the TV shows.
Yes.
That show this, and people think that, oh, my house is haunted. Well, that's not necessarily so. I'm not saying that spirits are not everywhere, because they are everywhere. They're everywhere in the world, but I'm saying that not everything that appears to be haunted is haunted. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. It's perception. It's perception. And if you're really looking for it, you'll perceive something that is not truly spirit. You'll perceive it as paranormal. And
exactly.
And a lot of teams, Mike, and you might have experienced this, are quick to judge that's paranormal without trying to debunk it.
Yes.
Doing the best that they can do to debunk it. They don't, because they want to say, look at our evidence, look what we found.
And you're exactly right. You're exactly right. And that's where we go with our stuff. We do videos and stuff, and we produce it not to be famous. Not to be famous at all. We produce it raw.
Mm-hmm.
And we always tell everybody, this is what we think it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it's up to you to come back and tell us what you think it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because, we're not experts. There's no experts in this field.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think that's where it needs to be. I mean, I swear to you, I would love to be the first person in a controlled environment that could present a spirit that would actually come up and sit and talk with us. But in my eyes, I think it's impossible to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So to date, I think the way we do this is the best way to produce it. Okay, this is what we think it is. What do you all think it is? We debunked everything else that we can possibly debunk, but maybe you can debunk this.
I know you had sent me an EVP and said listen to it. It's probably been first part of the year, end of last year, and you had me listen to it, and I don't remember what I told you I thought it said, but it was completely different from what you said. you thought it was.
Exactly. And, you know, with EVPs, sometimes it's hard to say because they come across sometimes so fast.
Yep.
So fast. And we've even went to the point where we slow them down and try to listen to the syllables. And maybe this is really what they said. Maybe it's not, you know, if it is an EVP at all.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. You know, if I can share an experience that I had that was pretty, he had a name for it. I forgot what he called it, the experiment. But it was during the big event that we have at the Seven Sisters Inn. And every time Brian Cannell went and spoke about this experiment and he presented it, he said, he quoted saying that the Seven Sisters experience is probably the finest example of this experiment coming true. So what the experiment was is he took a bunch of people in a room. Most of them happened to be psychic mediums. I would say about 50%, half were psychic mediums. And then he put a recorder on and he said, for 1 minute, I want you to think everybody the same word with your heart and might as much as you can. And they chose the word bird. So he just says, I want you to think about bird, bird, bird. Hear it in your soul, hear it in your mind, but don't say it. Just keep just mentally pushing it for 1 minute. And he put the recorder on, turned it off after a minute, and he replayed it. And guess what we heard?
Bird.
Multiple voices, multiple tones, multiple female versus male. I think it imprinted like 8 or 10 times. And his theory is sometimes our mind can create those EVPs recordings. That if we think it hard enough, they may be captured as an EVP.
And I would agree with you on that. I would agree with you on that 100%.
How powerful my mind is, right?
Yeah, I would agree with you on that.
Mm-hmm.
However, we have captured EVPs, especially at Thornhaven.
Oh, no doubt. No, I have two intelligent ones.
Yeah, that brought up names that should not even be connected with Thornhaven, and that's why I was so wish that my sister could have got on tonight, and that's Barb, because it really affected her, and it actually opened up another investigation of a lost persons case that was over 100 years old.
Wow.
And her name was Catherine Winters. And she came through. And everything that she gave us in that session, and this was with the spirit box, everything that she gave us matches the history of not Thornhaven, but Newcastle. And it got everybody's interest sparked again to where they're going to reopen the investigation.
Yeah.
Of the disappearance of Catherine Winters.
Wow.
She was a young girl that I can't remember her age, but that's why I wish Barb was on here, because Barb knows the whole history of it.
She was 9. I researched her.
Okay, well, Jen, why don't you help me out with this?
They said she was 9. She was last seen down by the courthouse in town, and their theory is that her parents weren't very nice to her, and one of the theories is that her mom was having an affair with, I don't remember who it was. I think it was It's on the Thornhaven website, and then I
It's
Googled
like a maintenance man.
somebody like that, yeah, that helped around the house. They thought she was having an affair with him, and Catherine walked in on them. And they can't find her body. They don't know where she went. And I'm curious if she was buried out there on that property. That's what I'm kind of wondering.
How horrible.
And there is a place behind Thornhaven that's in the woods that has rocks that are built around in a circle. And they've been there for ages and ages. But Thornhaven also was reportedly to be a part of the Underground Railroad. And what we thought about the rocks when the first time we investigated there was that there's a grave there because there's also yucca plants there, and there is a tree planted right there within the rock circle. And so we thought, there's a body here. There's a body here. Now, whether it's Catherine, we don't know. But being up north, if it was an underground railroad, if a slave died there, they don't want anybody to know the slave died because they don't want to be detected as being part of the Underground Railroad. So they would have buried him. But they would have marked the graves some way or another. So we just don't know. Maybe Catherine's there.
Have you ever thought about, well, has the owner ever thought about digging up what's underneath those rocks?
Well, what has been brought up is we want to bring ground penetrating radar up to Thornhaven because it is reported that the tunnel leads from Thornhaven out to the main highway. Now, they haven't found the tunnel yet because the houses went through many renovations. Things have been blocked up in the basement, and he don't know yet. He's still in the mainstream of trying to renovate the house, but he's doing it off his own income. Mm-hmm. So, it's a long process.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what we suggested. Let's bring ground penetrating radar and see, if there are things in there. Because it'll discover graves or tunnels or whatever. But it's a very curious place because out behind it, you can see what looked like a roadway or a brickway. There's stones laid out that looks like it may even been the top of the tunnel. We don't know yet. It's still under investigation. But it's a very cool place.
So when you do the investigation on Saturday, will you be able to go where the rocks are?
Excuse me, say that one more time, please.
So when you go on the investigation on Saturday, are you going to address the rocks? Are you going to go near the area where the rocks are?
Oh, yes, ma'am. We will.
And that's been done before, right? That's been done before.
That was in some of our videos, yes.
Right. And that's where you said Barbara had a pretty bad experience there, right?
Barb has had lots of things that have happened to her up there. Barb, being a part of our group, if something is going to come through, it's going to come through Barb. Her worst experience up there was when we were talking about Catherine. And it came through where she physically, we were asking, actually Barb asked, she said, did something happen to your head? And Catherine said yes, because Barb got a real sharp pain in her head. And she eventually had to leave the room. And when it came out, afterwards, because we didn't know anything about Catherine Winters at the time, and we started studying it, it came out that in the papers and everything, they thought that actually Catherine Winters' brother said that she was hit in the head by an iron by her stepmother because of what she had seen, and knocked her unconscious on the floor, and she died.
Mm.
And her stepbrother said that he never seen her again at that point because they closed the doors, and that was the last they ever seen of Catherine Winters.
Mm-hmm.
But they discounted his report because he was a little kid, and she came up missing. And from that point on, nobody really knows what happened to her. And Jen, if you remember all that, can you pipe in on that?
I remember reading something about she got hit in the head, but the one that really stuck out was that she went missing in town. There's a couple theories to that when I got to looking and researched it. There's a couple different theories out there.
Who discovered that she caught the two in action? I mean, how is that historically documented?
It was in a newspaper article I found.
Oh.
Yeah. I just Googled Catherine Winters, Newcastle, Indiana, and a whole page popped up about her disappearance. Multiple articles on
Wow.
Google. Yeah, it was.
So did she say something to someone? I mean, how was that recorded? How was that validated?
I'm not real sure.
Just wondering, you know?
Yeah, let me Google it again. My computer is really slow, so bear with me.
Well, all this information is coming from researchers that are researching the case. But I will tell you that they even had Bat Masterson come down and research the case, and he came up with a loss.
Give me just a second. I cannot search for anything on Chrome. I have to go to Firefox. You'll probably hear Xander in the background. He's watching PJ Masks. Okay. Oh, here's photos of what she looked like as well. Have you seen the photos of her? And they have pictures of who is this guy here? Now we're talking about the spirits that are there. I have a question.
Okay.
About Frank. How is he related to Thornhaven?
Frank was, if I remember right, and I might be telling you wrong. You're asking the wrong person on that because Barb's the historian. But Frank was, if I believe right, he was not the owner, but he was the servant that was there at Thornhaven.
Okay.
And he was the one I believe that poisoned the owner. And I can't remember the owner's name. Like I said, that's why we needed Barb here tonight.
I had all this wrote down. I have it on
but his name did come through.
Yeah, that's why I was like, how did he connect to Thornhaven? Hold on.
Well, he poisoned the family.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I read about
Because
that. He was wanting to kill one of the sisters, wasn't he?
he, yeah, but he ended up killing the whole family.
Oh my
And
God.
Yeah.
and
Someone should do a movie about this place.
there is a movie coming out about this place.
Yeah, there is.
And but yes, he poisoned. And if I'm saying the right name, it may not have been Frank, but that sounds familiar to me. But he poisoned the family, and when he came through, we were asking him, why'd you do it? And it's because he wanted the house. He wanted the house. And I asked him, I said, well, can you come and go as you please? And I said, and when you leave here, where do you go? And he said, prison. He goes to prison. And so we figured in his afterlife, that's what he does. He goes to prison, he comes back, and he relives everything that's going on there at Thornhaven.
Wow. What was Thornhaven's original use? Was it just a mansion of a residence?
It began as being it began, and again, I really wish Barb was here to tell you.
What I read was Stephen Elliott Farm. I'm trying to look up. I've got all this on our National Ghost Hunting Day thing.
Good.
On our event page.
Yes. Good.
Yeah. At least
that's a good place to put it, Jen. That was good. We're doing after the event, like in January, we're actually publishing all the properties and putting their history and their haunted history on there too. And so that people can, if they get this booklet, document, it's digital only. They can download it and they can say, we want to go here, we want to go there. You know what I'm saying? It's another push for these properties. So.
Right. Well, I'm sorry, Maria, that I can't give you more about the history.
No, I think with Jen's, it's supplementing you pretty dang good. So
yeah, I really wish that Barb was on here because she could tell you way more. And but myself, my part in the group is what I do is I go in and try to get them to talk to us and answer stuff.
You know what our motto is? Our motto at Haunted Journeys is a haunting is history wanting to be heard.
Right.
That's our motto. And it's true, right? Because every time they talk to you, it's about something they did, or they're happy about it, they're sad about it, they're regretful about it, they're angry about it, whatever it is. And, just because it's history doesn't mean it has to be good, right?
Right.
And I bet Thornhaven has a lot of...
Oh, it's got a lot of ins and outs to it.
Oh, God, yeah.
The basement, really.
Do you think there's a portal there a portal for more negativity? Because there's so many nasty stuff that happened there?
In the basement, yes. Because the basement, there is a spirit in the basement that doesn't really care too much.
I'm going to mute you for a second. Tell me when you're done, because I don't want to know till we get there. Because I want to see if I get what you guys match. Okay, give me a sign when you're done. Go.
Okay. Well, in the basement, not many guys can go into the basement. And the reason being is because it's reported that the owner not the original owner, but an uncle of the owner. And this was back when slavery was going on. He used to rape young women.
Oh my God.
In the basement. Okay. And, you know, he died shortly afterwards. But whenever men go into the basement, men don't last very long in the basement because they get sick to their stomachs. They start throwing up. And I'm a pretty strong investigator. And when we were going to investigate the basement for the first time, because we had to wait, the owner wouldn't let us into the basement for a lot of years because it was cluttered and everything. He finally got it cleaned out, and he had bad feelings down there too. But I didn't want to go into that basement. I had an ill feeling, and I told the rest of the team, which the majority of my team is females. And the reason I have females is because they don't run on you. You know, guys, they hear one little thing and they're out of there. You know, and so that's why I have females around me. But I didn't want to go into the basement, and I tell you, I went down there and I got sick too.
Mm.
And we were only there for like 10 minutes. And we got scared by a sump pump, you know, which was silly because we even knew it was there. In fact, it's on video where I said, there's a sump pump going to kick on here in about 10 minutes. So everybody be prepared. And we're sitting down there in silence, total silence. And it comes on, and I jump and everybody else jumps, but my nerves are already racked. And I finally told everybody, I said, I'm done with this. But the fact of the story is that there has been no male member that can really go into that basement because they get feelings of being overwhelmed and that they shouldn't be there and stuff. And maybe there's spirits of some of the women that were done wrong down there.
And she's being aggressive about them. Yeah.
And I wouldn't doubt that he hadn't killed some people down there because it would have been slaves.
Happy place.
Yeah. Well, it's not really a bad place. I mean, I'm sure there's some happy things happening there.
No, but yeah.
But I will tell you, there's been things that have happened recently there too. A neighbor woman in the middle of winter, they don't know why she ended up there, but they found her froze to death outside the front steps of the place. And, you know, I mean, there's been a lot of miscaps that have been there at the place itself. So, you know, I don't want to talk bad about the place because I really love it. And I really don't feel threatened there. I don't like going in the basement or out in the barn. But I won't go out in the barn because I don't like snakes. And there's baby vultures.
Just happened to come back in when you were talking about snakes.
Oh, he's good. He's clear. He's clear. He cleared himself out of the basement. So, hey guys, I gotta exit around 10. Is that gonna be okay with y'all?
Yep.
That's fine with me because I have to also. I got to get up at 4 in the morning.
Oh, you're very kind to be here. And what a great background. And Jen, I want you to give me some good news. Did you sell out?
Oh yeah, we've been sold out since last week or the week before.
Perfect. I remember you telling me, but I wanted you to gloat on it.
Oh yeah, we're sold out. We make good money for the place. What else do you want me to say?
So wonderful. So wonderful. Very, very wonderful.
We have experienced investigators like Mike and Barb and Debbie and their team, and then me. And then we have, this will be their first investigation. We have all the way up from beginners, curious, all the way up to seasoned investigators like ourselves.
That's perfect. That's what we want. We want to get some folks and tell them ghost hunting is not what you see on TV. If you open up a closet door, you won't get a demon, you know. So we want to remold their heads, you know, about what true ghost hunting is about.
Well, it's not what you see on TV, that's for sure, because everything's not all action-packed. It's a lot of us just kind of sitting there waiting for something to happen.
Exactly.
On a dirty floor.
But hey, I look so cool on TV, though. They made me look so cool. I'm just teasing. But thanks for talking with us, Maria.
Oh, no, thank you, Mike. And I am so sorry I didn't get to meet Barb. You've raised a level of wanting to so maybe, Jen, you know, I don't want to hurry you too much because I know you're going to have some recuperation after Saturday, but maybe we can rekindle and see what you guys found out in Thornhaven on the world's largest ghost hunt.
Yeah. And would you like to tell everybody real quick what time it is and where they can find it?
I would love to. So if you go to largestghosthunt.com, you'll see different ways to get in. You can browse through all the properties that we have there. We have a map, so you can map into the map. And if you click on the map and you go into it, you go into Indiana, right? And then you swabble down to the you're in the south, mid-south. Is that where you're at?
No, Newcastle. We'd be up around Indianapolis.
Oh my goodness. So way up almost in the center. And then they'll see Thornhaven. They click on that. They'll have where your live stream is going to be sitting. So
I just know it's a 3-hour drive. So, and I go south.
Yeah.
I know you're way up north. You're way up north. Yeah.
It's east of Indianapolis.
And where do you live, Mike?
I live in southern Indiana. I live down close to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm about 30 miles from Louisville.
Are you near Brown County?
Brown County is up north of me.
Oh, really? So you're way south. Yeah.
Are you from Brown County? Or?
No, but we've been to Brown County. We live in Cincinnati. We live in Hamilton, Ohio.
Cincinnati? Hey,
we live. Okay, let me take that back. We live 20 miles north of Cincinnati. We live in Hamilton, Ohio.
Oh, really? Well, I spent over a year of my life up there living in Cincinnati.
Really?
Yeah, for the past, I think it was 2 years ago. I was up there and I stayed there because I had a job site I was working on, the VA hospital.
Okay, yeah.
And I lived there. In fact, while I was there, I didn't have my group with me, but I got to investigate the museum of Cincinnati, which was really, really cool. There's a lot of cool things in Ohio. I loved it being there.
Everywhere. As long as you have an old building, maybe one day you guys can come here and investigate my house.
I would love to. Yeah. And, keep us informed.
Yeah.
Keep us informed. Absolutely. I would love to come there. I'd love to go on an investigation with you.
Yeah. Consider, John, I think Hamilton, we've got 3 properties here for World's Largest Ghost Hunt. And if I tried harder, I could probably get another 20 because this place is it's on the Little Miami River. It's got tons of all the stuff that you need, history, and it's full of stuff here. So it's a very intriguing town, and they welcome the haunted here. They don't turn it away.
Oh, I do know that. Then when I was
They love a good ghost story. We sold out. 3 properties sold out pretty much 2 or 3 weeks after they went public. So altogether, 90 tickets between the 3 properties. 90 tickets, 30 each. They're big properties, so they can withstand it.
Oh, I guarantee. Yeah, they like I said, when I was up there, they all welcomed me.
Mm-hmm.
And
they like their Hoosiers here.
They're very interested.
Yeah, they like their Hoosiers here too, so we're good.
Yeah, well,
thank you very much. I hope that your listeners will come in and support and look at your live stream. And so why don't you let us know, Jen, where to find your live stream?
Alrighty, you can find mine at BSR Paranormal on Facebook.
That's what we have it pointed. Mm-hmm.
And Mike, you can tell them where to find you. I think we'll be going between Shindig and on our Facebook pages, our respective Facebook pages in between. I know my phone will probably die quick, so they can find us on both, and Mike can tell you where to find his.
You can find mine at basically Mike Flickner. Or if you go to the Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters.
So you're with Indiana Ghost Hunters. So let's do that, and I'll tell my my territory managers to find you. And when you go live, we're going to go ahead and share your stuff out there. That's what we're doing this year. We're looking for all the live feeds coming in and shooting them out everywhere.
Yeah, it's Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters.
Okay, Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. Very good.
Yeah, you'll find us there.
Yeah, we don't want to get messed up with those Northern Indiana folks, do we?
Hey, they're all part of it.
Jennifer.
Well, I'm actually a transplant because I'm was born in Atlanta. So, see, I'm kind of transplanted here.
You lost your Georgia drawl, that's for sure. Well, God bless you.
We love Jen to death. She's part of us, regardless if she is North.
Good.
I'm the only Northerner they love.
I want to thank you both for doing the incredible work you guys do every day, but the representation to help Thornhaven. It sounds like it's a property that's very well needs to help. So we'll keep pushing, and hopefully we'll be able to find out what's under those rocks one day. Right?
Sounds good. Thank you, Mary.
God bless you.
Well,
God bless you too.
We'll see you in 48 hours.
I will do that.
Oh, geez. I need a nap. Have a good night.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Hang on just a sec. I'm going to end the show. Once again, everyone, thank you for tuning in and listening to Mike and Maria and myself tonight. Next week, I'm not sure who I have on, but I will post it on the Paranormal Road Trip Facebook page. So watch us Saturday night. We'll be live streaming on Shindig. We will be live streaming on BSR Paranormal and also on SIGH Facebook page. It's SIGH, Southern Indiana Ghost Hunters. So if you have any questions for us, have any ideas, just let us know. Between now and then and that night, and while we do our live feed, you can post and ask questions. Maybe you can think of something that we haven't to ask. See if we can get a response. So everybody have a good night, and we will see you Saturday night between 9 p.m. and midnight.